Good afternoon. This is Giovanni Torres, and welcome to Vmt News. Authorities are searching for a man who allegedly assaulted a pregnant woman. Laredo police need help locating 19-year-old Dagoberto Castillo, who is wanted for assault. According to reports, officers were called out to the home at the 2100 block of Los Cerezos last month. The woman told police that Castillo had allegedly punched and kicked her knowing she was pregnant. When investigators arrived, Castillo had already left the residence. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Castillo, you are asked to call police at 956-795-2800 or Crime Stoppers at 727-TIPS. The next story for today is a former Yes Prep charter student armed with a rifle shot his way into the school's Southwest Houston campus and injured one staff member before surrendering to law enforcement Friday, police said. No students were injured. Dexter Harold Kelsey, 25, shot through the locked front door of the school at 4411 Anderson Road and made his way in around 11:45 a.m. Friday. Police said that's when the alleged shooter encountered Eric Espinosa, the school's principal, and shot him in the back. According to Houston Police Chief Troy Finner, Espinosa was rushed to a hospital in the Texas Medical Center in serious condition, where he was treated and later released. According to reports, Kelsey was charged with aggravated assault against a public servant and deadly conduct. According to court documents, his bond was set at $5.25 million. Police responded in minutes and came upon the alleged shooter, who was surrounded without incident, police said. SWAT teams were seen entering the building near 4400 Anderson Road at Hiram Clark Road in search of anyone else possibly connected to the shooting and quickly cleared the scene. HPD set up a staging area for parents at West Fuqua Street and Hiram Clark to pick up students with officers on hand to assist. Our next story here is a massive outage on Monday, October 4th, knocked out to service to Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, taking the sites offline for users across the world. All three social media giants, owned and operated by Facebook Incorporated, based in Menlo Park, California, went out of service at 11:39 a.m. ET. Mike Schroeffer, Chief Technology Officer at Facebook, had to go on Twitter to offer his sincere apologies to everyone impacted by outages of Facebook-powered services right now. We are experiencing network issues and teams are working as fast as possible to debug and restore as fast as possible. Schroeffer tweeted just before 4 p.m. ET, over 4 hours after the outage began. WhatsApp tweeted, "We're working to get things back to normal and we will send an update here as soon as possible. Thanks for your patience." And Instagram took to Twitter and posted the hashtag Instagram is down with the message, "Instagram and friends having a little bit of a hard time right now, and you may be having issues using them. Bear with us. We're on it." One federal agent died and 2 other law enforcement officers are injured in a shooting on an Amtrak train at a station in Tucson, Arizona on Monday morning on October 4th. Members of a regional narcotics alliance with both local and federal authorities were conducting a routine check on a stationary train when a man opened fire. Tucson Police Department Chief Chris Magnus said Monday. Authorities were detaining another man on the train's upper deck when the shooter put out a handgun. The suspect, after exchanging rounds with the officers, barricaded himself in the bathroom, which is on the lower level. Ultimately, it was determined that the suspect in the bathroom was in fact deceased, Magnus said. The man initially detained remains in custody. Magnus said no suspects were identified by authorities. One Drug Enforcement Administration agent was killed in the exchange. According to Special Agent in Charge Cherry Oz, another agent is in critical condition. A Tucson police officer who rushed to help after hearing shots fired was also injured, but is in stable condition. Magnus said the shooting incident on board the train from Los Angeles occurred at 7:40 a.m. local time. According to a statement from Amtrak, there were no reported injuries to the 137 passengers and 11 crew members on the train, who all evacuated into the station. The Tucson Police Department initially described the incident as a very active scene and directed people who were downtown to avoid the station. A Valley native will appear in an Amazon original horror movie. Ariana Guerra, who was born and raised in McAllen, is part of the Latino-inspired Amazon original movie Madras as a second-generation Mexican-American woman. Guerra says the themes of the movie resonate with her. The experience and hardships of farm work for families, Chicano versus Mexican identity, race, relations, and tensions, living undocumented. A lot of things are very relatable. I think to the RGV, Guerra said. Guerra is bringing the movie to her hometown for a free screening at the McKellen Cinemark Hollywood Theater Tuesday at 6:45 p.m. I want to come back, and even if it's just doing a screening, if I can encourage other local filmmakers or artists to also pursue these careers or inspire kids to do the same, because I know I didn't have that exposure growing up, Guerra said. That's sort of value in what I have to give to my community. The film premiered on Amazon Prime on October 8th. Welcome back to VMT News. Today's weather will be in the hundreds. Outside, we will have partly cloudy skies, winds from the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Unfortunately, we will only have 5% chance of rain. Although at nighttime, it'll be in the 70s with winds from 15 to 25 miles per hour. And the next 3 days, you guys can see here, the next 3 days will be headed on to an average of 95 degrees with winds of average speed of 10 miles per hour. All nights from this 3-day period will be also at the 70s, averaging wind speeds from 10 to 25 miles per hour. Very exciting news on the 15th because there will be partly cloudy with an isolated thunderstorm possible after midnight.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
but I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Moving on to the next topic. After achieving one historic accomplishment in his return to the Gillette Stadium to face the New England Patriots on Sunday night, Tom Brady added another line to his extensive resume. With the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' 1917 win over the Patriots, Brady joined Brett Favre, Drew Brees, and Peyton Manning in NFL history as the only quarterbacks to beat all 32 teams. Brady also broke Brees' record for career passing yardage earlier in the night. Brady's victory marked his 116th in Foxborough, Massachusetts, but was his first as a visitor after he won 6 Super Bowl titles in 20 years alongside Bill Belichick. He also furthered another all-time mark with his 233rd regular season victory. Save for the Patriots, Arizona Cardinals, and Seattle Seahawks, Brady has defeated every NFL franchise at least twice in the regular season. 2 other active quarterbacks, the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, and Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, have beaten every other franchise besides their own. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Sony's follow-up to the 2018 supervillain film, blew past expectations at the ticket booth this weekend. The film, which stars Tom Hardy as a ravenous alien symbiote, notched an estimated $90.1 million at the North American box office this weekend. The total is the biggest for the pandemic era and second biggest ever for the month of October. According to ComScore, SCOR, it's also incredibly good news for theaters owners who are hoping that October can string together multiple hit weekends at the box office. So far, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, a film that played exclusively in theaters, has done exactly that. Sony had tempered its estimates for the film, projecting it would come in at around $40 million, while other analysts projected a take of $50 million or higher. Those expectations seem low, especially in retrospect, but theaters are still trying to rebound from the coronavirus pandemic, and audiences may still be skittish since the global health crisis is ongoing. None of that slowed Venom Let There Be Carnage down this weekend. However, the opening weekend success of Venom Let There Be Carnage follows in the footsteps of its predecessor, which also surprised the industry with an $80 million debut in 2018, an October box office record at the time. So, Let There Be Carnage beats the original's opening and did so during a pandemic and at a time when streaming big films at home has become a new focus of studios. It also found an audience despite bad review from critics. The film has a 58% score on the review aggression site Rotten Tomatoes. We are also pleased that patience and theoretical exclusivity have been rewarded with record results. Tom Rothman, chairman and CEO of Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group, said in a statement on Sunday, "With apologies to Mr. Twain, the death of movies has been greatly exaggerated. In short, the news on Sunday couldn't be better for Sony or theater owners. This is especially so considering that the industry is kicking off what may be its most important October in Hollywood's history, while having a few hit films in recent years. October has historically never been a month known for big box office hits. In fact, it was usually a dead zone between the lucrative summer movie season and the critically acclaimed awards fair of the holidays. This October, however, is very different. Not only is this month uncharacteristically jam-packed with major films such as MGM's latest James Bond film, No Time to Die, and Warner Bros. Sci-fi epic Dune. It's a month that could also say a lot about the short and long-term future of the movie theater business. Warner Bros., like CNN, is owned by Warner Media. Ultimately, this month could give a Hollywood and industry observers a good sense of its audiences are still willing to pack into theaters. If Venom Let There Be Carnage is any indication, the answer seems to be a decisive yes. That is all for today's information and VMT News. More news to you later on.